Hello, this evening. Nasala Nini, what have I done to you? The song is called Fazwa, French, which means neighbor. This is Madilu system. Today we are going to see how the history of the Zairian music. Voisin-Madilu, that is my neighbor. What wrong have I done to you? What have I borrowed from you? From you. Epa is a place. So that is Madilu together with the Akinanibo Mamandido. The guys are very creative. So whom have I killed? The original pioneer of Congolese music, that is Grand Calais, Joseph Kabasele Adanas. That is it's called the father of, in fact it's called the godfather of Zaire Rumba. Zaire Rumba, that is the godfather of the modern Congolese music. His band was known as African Jazz. Yenganyoso nandako ya Zambe, and all days, every Sundays you are in the house of God. Anyway, I have done that translation of the song V-O-I-S-I-M. That means Fazwa in that is a neighbor in French. Madilu was just saying how a neighbor is bad. A neighbor wants him to be, doesn't want to see him succeed. So some of the dances, among those ones we had as it's called a popular dances. We had a hot stepping, abuaya, and then we had its lower cousin known as Nzambele. Another one was Ebongo, Patenge, and Maringa. Maringa in Kenya is someone's name. Simetere basala bino, Ampona biso nyoso. The cemetery was just meant for a verse all. So the Maringa, which remained popular for years, was danced to the local variety of palm wine music. It was a subtle dance involving the smooth shift of body weight from hip to hip, and it was the cool rumba step which the Aryans seemed to set to dance into the 21st century, which became known as Rumba Sokos, but the Western nation just named it Sokos. Otherwise it was known as Rumba Sokos. Which was that dance of from the smooth shift of body from hip to hip. That's the way they used to dance it. So in Lingala and Rumba or music, Congolese music, they go together. So I read somewhere in Leo Label, the people spoke Lingala, which is an untribal trading language, which evolved out of Lobobanki, the language of a riverine people from the equatorial region, mixed with the words from Kikongo of Lower Zaire. and other words were taken from Swahili, Portuguese, French, and even English. Lingala was spoken by the military, the church, and bureaucrats, that is, in the office, as well as traders. So its use in the city further diminished the ethnic identity of much of the music, and Lingala became a vital ingredient in the development of a homogenized urban popular music. So as the country's capital, that is, and a major port, Leopoldville, which became known as Kinshasa, had always been a cosmopolitan city where musicians were exposed to many new influences from the interior by way of the Congo River, and from the west coast and Europe via the seaport of Matadi. There had long been a community of West Africans known as Coastmen, Ghanamen, or Doualamen, working in the Congo, who had brought their high-life dance music with them. High-life, which fused American jazz, European and Caribbean dance style with the folk music of the West African region. So it was the first successful blending of African and Western ingredient into popular dance music. Franco once cited early highlife as a strong influence on Congolese dance music. The West African immigrants attracted to the Congo by the good employment prospects and the highest standards of living in Africa. Brought their own musical entertainment and founded their first dance orchestra in Leopoldville, to be known as the Excelsior, after a pioneering high life band from Ghana. Most coastmen were too busy working and rarely played at organized functions. However, their music remained social. So I've done these songs called Fazua. Let me play the song Biatondi by Biatondi, that is by Biatondi by Grant Kale. That is a very short song, Grant Kale. That's an advertisement.
Check. Let's talk about banking. Or let's talk about dreams and goals. Your dreams, your goals.
Mwana mwasi oyo. So Dr. Nico is saying, Mwana mwasi oyo, you lady. But he's just speaking very fast, and the short was very short. Mwana mwasi oyo, you lady. Namona Bangote, just saying those people as mentioned. I'm not saying them. He's just mentioning their people's names. Babaki wapi, where are they? Ngana loba na yona lingala yo oloba monoko. So Dr. Nico is asking the lady, I'm speaking to you in Lingala. Which language are you speaking? And then, so Dr. Nico was wondering, he's speaking the Lingala to that lady, but she was speaking a different language. How are you, my friend Malinda Kasioka? Anyway, I've done this translation, Biatondi by Dr. Nico Kasanda. Dr. Nico Kasanda was in the African Fiesta Sukisa. Originally, they used to be with the table that was African jazz of Grand Calais, and then which they formed in 1963 African Fiesta, and then they broke up 1965. So he formed Africa Fiesta Sukisa. Table formed Africa Fiesta Nationale. So as music was evolving, let me bring that song by Grand Calais called Independence Cha-Cha-Cha. Just see how it was evolving. So it's just saying Independence Cha-Cha. That is Independence Cha-Cha-Cha. Tozui, we've gotten the independence. Lipanda, they call independence, they also call it Lipanda. Kozua is to get or to have. Independence, Cha-Cha, Tozui. So Grand Calais came with the style called Cha-Cha-Cha. So just saying, Cameroon Bagane, Cameroon, they have won independence. Bagane, Gane, that word means, is I think a French meaning they have won. Bayokani, they have agreed. Balingani, they are happy, they have agreed. Balingani, they love each other. So it's mentioning those names of Akina Kasavubu, Lumumba, Sombe, by the way, I have done the translation of this song. Also, I did another one recently by Sam Mangwana. It's called Africa Mokili Mobimba. Africa Mokili Mobimba by Sam Mangwana. It's also an independent song. This song used to play in the KBC or VOK long time ago. Those days we had only KBC and or Voice of Kenya. In fact, I remember very well, we used to have an annual license for a television or even a radio. Before they came these FM stations, that was 80s. We used to have an annual license for a television. Awangana Vandi I'm seated here, Motema, Mobang, whatever. Just saying that I'm here, but I'm not settled. Okomi Omoni Sangamba Banda. You are just showing me my rivals before my eyes. Namiso. Awangana Vandi. Kovanda is to sit. Just saying that it's not settled. Okomi Komoni Sangai Bambanda Namiso. You are just showing my rivals to me. So as I was saying, there were also many number of itinerant guitarists arriving from the city from the west coast. One name that Franco remembers hearing is his childhood. In his childhood was Dondo Daniel, a sailor who had traveled the coast of West Africa as far as Senegal and who had returned to Kinshasa before World War II with an expensive repertoire of guitar picking techniques. At the same time, a stream of individual stylists descended on the capital from the upriver ports deep in the interior of Congo. The accusionist Feruzi disembarked from the Kisangani. Kisangani came from the Stanaville. Just a corrupt word meaning Stanaville, so they call it Kisangani. Stanaville steamer. While from Bololo came the guitarist and troubadour Antonio Wendo Colosei, whose recording of Marie Lusa for the Ngoma label in 1949 was one of the first studio recordings by a Congolese musician. Africa Mokili Mobimba, the whole Africa. Just like that means Africa as a continent. So I'll just write this, I'll make a write-up on the video so that you can read it for yourself. Also, fresh off a river beat came the guitarist Paul Ebengo de Wayon, who rented a room in Mama Makiese's compound and whose presence was to establish Franco's future as a musician. As Franco, anyway, Mama Makiese was Franco's mother. As Franco recalled, when my father died, we rented a plot at Ngiringiri, Ruba Senge, number 100. That is where I met citizen Ebengo de Wayon. He had a guitar he had made himself. He worked at Tisako, a textile factory. At Tisako, sometimes they had to work at night, sometimes they work at daytime. When he worked at night, Franco used to pinch his guitars. That's when Franco started to discover some sounds. Finally, the young Franco secret activities were discovered by De Wayon Ebengo. And De Wayon, when he came from work unexpectedly, far from punishing the child, he began showing him his own dynamic finger-picking techniques. So, and eventually persuaded Mama Makiese, that is Franco's mother, that if the boy's talent was allowed to develop, he could possibly make a living as a musician. But that was not all. Continued Franco. In that area was a citizen called Luampasi, that is somebody, his name was Albert, who had sung the song Sheri Mabansa. He had lots of acoustic guitars at his place. He lived nearby at Dokolenge. because of his guitars, we used to go around to his place sometimes to practice. So he's just saying that it's not settled. Motema mo bongite, and it's not settled. Okomi komoni sanga babandana miso. You are showing me my competitors. Takei Mobemba, I've gone on safari. Kokanisate Sherina Kozongela yo. Don't mind, I'll come back to you. And I've done that translation. So let's go on. He had a so Franco said that sometimes to practice. From there on, Luampasi thought of us as his children. That's what Franco said. He went out with his guitars and played at matangas in the area. Even if matanga, you see now Lingala, just they pick some words from Kiswahili. Matanga is a wake held for the dead after a suitable period of mourning has passed, and the spirits are let me see, are believed to have arrived safely back in the realm of the ancestors. Because these celebrations are family affairs, the entertainment often includes a strong traditional element through which the revelers can link up with their forebearers, although there is often some space for modern popular music as well. Music and refreshments are provided free to the family members, and although the guests invariably contribute to a collection, matangas are a big occasion which are expensive to run. People might need to save for months, even years, before they can afford to give them their deceased kinfolks a good send-off. According to some Mangwana who grew up in the same neighborhood with the neighborhood of Kina Franco, their own was at that time part artist. He took the music to the villages and turned it into a kind of rock and roll music for the young people. I think Samangwana's parents came from Angola because now he grew up in the DRC and he's back to Angola. I understand his parents came to work for green pastures in the DRC. You know, DRC is rich in minerals. So it was the music of the street people of Kinshasa, and because of the influence of the Western feelings, the musicians became known as bandits. The musicians, Akina Franco, they came to be known as bandits. So let's listen to the song. That is by the song Dix Makuta. Some of these songs, most of them have done translation. Dix Makuta. Mwasi is just a lady. This song was done 1966. Dix Makuta. Dix is French for 10. Makuta are cents. Likambo yako senga esili. Just telling the lady that this issue of asking for money is over. Kosenga is to request. Kosila is to end. Egalite ya basi na mibali, the equality between women and men. Masanga okosenga na ba. This issue of requesting, asking for alcohol. Masangai's man is alcohol. Okosala Sony na basi. You are shaming ladies. This issue of asking for alcohol in bus. Nasuka Sanza, so the man is saying, I normally, we all get money. So me, I save. When it comes to the end month, when I have money, so you start asking me, the one that I've been saving, you want me to give you, or I buy for you alcohol. So this song we had Mulamba Mujos, Yuluma Biala, and then Michelle Boibanda. Olinginga na sombelayo yayo obomba. You want me to buy for you alcohol, and you are keeping your money, or you are saving it. So this is how the music were. You see, this one is for 60s, 1966. So Dix Makuta I have done, you can check it. As I was saying the story, we had the Wayon style was recognized as the rhythm of the Hindu beats. Franco naturally started playing with the Wayonis group, which was based in his own compound and fronted by a singer called Bikunda. Another inhabitant of the compound who hung out with Franco from those early days until the very end was his inseparable friend Jin Jin. Jin Jin is just, that is John John, with whom he shared a room, living, playing and fighting together. Jin Jin's allegiance to Franco was fanatical. He even lost an eye in a fight while protecting his hero, that is Franco, and thereafter became his bodyguard, personal assistant and bad messenger. So Jin Jin was a bodyguard to Franco, and he lost his eye while protecting Franco. Olinginga na somba yayo obombaka. You just want me to buy for you, and yours you are saving, or you are just keeping it. So Jin Jin is the one who knew Franco's most intimate secrets and carried out many clandestine assignments on his behalf, on behalf of Franco. This information I got it from the Congo Colossus, Graham Ewings. So let me see if I can get that song, Fox Millionaire. Fox Millionaire by Kwame. This is the song he did when he left Franco and joined the African Fiesta with the Wakina Table and Dr. Nico. Matondo is somebody's name. Defisanga Mbongo. Lend me money. Naya Kozongis, I'll give you back. I refund. Nazalina Tembe na Babanda. I have an argument. Tembe is like an argument. I have a debate with my rivals, my competitors. Nalingi naye bisabango ngaimpe nakoka. I want to show them that I'm also successful. You see, now he was attacking Franco. Wana bakobanga ngai, so that they get and they fear me. So he's just saying that lend me money, Matondo. I want to show my competitors that I'm also a rich person, so that they fear me. Defisa is to lend. Lend me money, I'll return, I'll refund. I think you can hear the voice of Table. Nazalina Tembe na Bambanda. Bambanda are rivals or competitors. So just saying that lend me money, I want to show them that I'm also a rich person. So the mid-1950s really saw the birth of Congolese music as a vital entity. African music had been introduced onto Radio Congolia, later Radio Congo Belgique, as late as 1942 to 1943, and after World War II it was also played on the Radio Brazzaville, a powerful 30 kilowatt station set up as a long-range propaganda medium by the French government in exile, which had its base there during the war. The dance music proved popular not only with Africans but also with the European listeners. There is plenty of anecdotal evidence to show that the Belgian colonies not only tolerated but actually enjoyed African music to an extent which never occurred in other colonies. This song was done in 1965. Millionaire Sango, yani the current millionaire. Sango is the latest. Fox millionaire, fake one. So I've done the translation. Franco now this him with a song called "There is Chicote." Chicote is a whip, and there is another one called Pouvoir. He hit him back.
Soy Catalina. Soy Santiago y somos misioneros.
These are just advertisements. But I did it yesterday. These are just a rendition, but I think it's better. Let me look for Chicote by Franco himself. It's good to play the original so we get the feeling. Just saying that you don't respect, all the time you're just talking about your uncle. He was now telling Kwame, Oyonde Sony, that is very bad. You should feel ashamed. Tika tika, tango nyoso zako loba na kombo ya noko. Noko is an uncle. Then stop talking about your uncle all the time. Huh? Sala demo sala, just do your work. So Chicote is just a whip. This song was sung by Franco and Victor Longomba. And then Smaro is the one playing the solo rhythm guitar. This is a song against Kwame, who had sung Fox Millionaire with Roseru. against Franco. So Franco responds, "You are like a child to me that I raised. I want to whip you." They not trust what you are doing because they know you very well. Bakondima yote mpomba yebio. Can you also listen to the music that is 19 Maseke Ameme? Now how it was evolving. So this is Franco's brother, Bavon Marie Marie. Famille Oyo Motema Mabe. This family is a very bad one. Bondoki Ekoma Mosala. Witchcraft to them is like a business. No, it's like an occupation. Bondoki is witchcraft. Mwana Mokelo Kolangai. A young man like me. Bakundelingai maseke ya meme na liboso ya lopango. They have buried those and they have bewitched him. They have buried those sheep's horns in front of the gates. So as I was saying, this was no doubt due to the undeniable charm and sensitivity of the African music as much as any quirk of European culture. African musicians will be invited into the white neighborhoods to play at European dances. Many years later, when reminiscing on the early days, Franco reprised the popular Victorian waltz after the ball as an example of the kind of melodies they had been expected to play for the whites. In fact, there is an interview I've done. Franco said that they used sometimes to sing even in Spanish, and they used just to check words in the dictionaries. I have done that interview. Franco said they used to sing in Spanish. A recording studio, Olympia, had opened during the war, but the first commercial outlet for Congolese musicians came in 1949 when a Greek businessman, Mr. Geronimides, started up the Ngoma Drum Studios. The following year, Loningisa, that is Shake It Up Studio, was opened in the Katia Kibangu by two Greek brothers, A and B Papadimitro, followed soon after by the Benata brothers, Opika Label, then CEFA in 1953, and later Esengo. These concerns were all run by Greek traders who imported and distributed goods from Europe, including domestic equipment, fashion items, and imported records. As a purely commercial indicator, the sudden interest in domestic record productions showed that popular Congolese music was growing up. Anyway, I was in the Melodica studio yesterday, and a gentleman there told me whenever Marquis comes to Kenya, he has to visit Melodica studios. I asked him why. He told me because here in Kenya we have some records which are not in the DRC. And I remember I read somewhere, that is John Bokelo Isenge used to come with the tapes to record here in Nairobi. Nairobi was the center of recording the Zairian musics. And my brother is called who? Kasioka sent me after I had done the song. That song is what? There's a song I did yesterday. Kumbe, the Tanzanians, they are called the Kilwa Jazz. They did those songs like Mokolo na Kokufa by Tabule. They did so many songs exactly the way the Zairians used to play them, the Congolese used to play them. Tanzania, they also used to do them. You sent me the two songs like Mokolo na Kokufa by Tabule. The guys did it in their own version, but they are just the same beats. Sokinga na lingio ozuanga izobate. This is a song called Fasa. If I love you, don't take me for granted. Don't take my life for granted. Sokinga na lingio ozuanga izobate. If I love you, don't just think that I am a fool. So this song was done 1982. So just saying, don't take me for granted, don't take my love for granted. So as I was saying, these concerts where they were run as a purely commercial indicator, the sudden interest in domestic record production so that popular Congolese music was growing up. In 1950, at the age of 12, Frango was invited to make his professional debut in the once reconstructed group known as Watam. The name was taken from the Lingala word Watama, used by colonial authorities and Africans alike to identify delinquents or the unemployed. By now, Frango, who had started performing on maracas and vocal animation, had a proper acoustic guitar of his own and was really cutting a dash. So he said, when I was small, everybody was astounded at how I played the guitar. People asked how such a small person could play such a big guitar. The instrument had been given to him by Abekone, a priest from the Pere Blancs, who had taken an interest in the boy's upbringing following his father's death. Cornel was a great enthusiast for cultural development. He will give weekly film shows in the neighborhood and even made his own documentaries. He also took a paternal interest in Joseph Desire Mobutu, a corporal in the Army Pay Corps, who was 8 years older than Franco. In 1950, the country's future leader began his journalistic career, contributing to the Pere Blancs magazine, La Révolution. Okolingangai noki noki, just love me now. Okosukolang oko sundolangai noki noki, and you love me and then you just dump me immediately. Nayoki yo vanda kanabasite. I've heard you don't stay with ladies for a long time. So in Watamo, Frango carried his new guitar alongside the Wayon and his brother Johnny Bokelo Isenge Waisenge. Backed by a rhythm section using patenge frame drums, the Wayon's local version of rock and roll, which he called Yembele, was a progressive fusion of available technology with the traditional folklore rhythms such as the powerful Agbuaya. And while his lyrics had a mature philosophical edge, the beat had particular appeal to the rebellious young bandits. Originally playing for private parties, weddings and matangas, Watam quickly made a name around Kinshasa and found a regular spot at the Bolingo Bar in Giringiri, where the young Francos attracted as much attention as the group's leader. Music was a haphazard occupation in those early days, however, and no musicians were fully professional. Olobaki na Lukandako, you told me to look for a house. Nazwin Dako, I've gotten the house. But the way you are behaving, so this lady is telling this man, you is just like a joker. So Franco, by the way, was creative. Fasa is just a joker, eh? And then there's that song called La Cata, that's a tenant. Eh? I think I should play that La Cata. Eh? La Cata. Then there's that Taylor. Elusive.
Oh, Papa.
So, the Voisin himself had arrived in town as a fisherman, but by now, he was earning most of his living as a carpenter, working on the construction of Kinshasa's Njili airport. His young sidekick, Franco, was found a job as a builder's laborer, and he spent many months working in the Voisin's construction gang during the day and playing music together at night. Franco left temporarily in May 1953 when his old teacher Luambasi called him to play accompaniment at a wedding celebration in Kikongo, near his birthplace, where they stayed for 3.5 months. So Franco said, while I had been to play at Kikongo with Luambasi, the Voisin went to record at Loningisa. He told Papa Mitro that he agreed. I've got a guitarist who is traveling in Brazzaville. As soon as he gets back, I'll introduce him to you. That was in 1953. Olobaki Nalu Kandako, he told me to look for a house. I've gotten the house, but you don't want to pay for it. And you are just playing about with my mind. So one day, that was on August 3rd, Franco entered a recording studio for the first time. One fine day, the Voisin takes me to the studio. At the time, I was skinny, just a kid who played guitar, which we called the Bakuya Ngoma, a hollow-bodied electrified guitar known as Lucky Break, and the guitar was bigger than me. I arrived at the studio and played. All the Europeans were there, and they were amazed. The first song he played guitar on was probably Esengo ya Mokili, The Pleasures of Life, in which the Voisin sings, let the priest, the Voisin, Franco, and the others sing the Rumba. The pleasure of life is to be famous. Franco had just passed his 15th birthday. So, the Greek called Papa Dimitri was so impressed by the young guitarist's performance that at the end of the first day's recording, he presented Franco with a guitar he had been using and signed him to a 10-year exclusive contract at a starting salary of 900 francs per month. In effect, this meant becoming a session guitarist in the studio band, a loose collection of musicians known as Bana Loningisa, the Loningisa Boys, who backed up the many solo singers being recorded for the label. So the instrumentation included guitars, sax or clarinet, accordion, percussion, and double bass, an innovation which had been introduced that year as a replacement for the tuba used previously to maintain a bass line. There was also a primitive organ called the solo vox, played on some tracks by a Greek musician, Carlos Sati. The early stars of Loningisa included the Voisin, Henry Liengo, Adikwa, Tino Mab, Pierre Kalima, and the first female Congolese recording artist, Paulina Lisanga, who was employed as announcer on Radio Congo Basin. One of the biggest stars and leader of the house band, Banaloningisa, was the guitarist Henry Bowane. It was he who started calling the young wizard Franco. So Bowane, Henry Bowane, a robust, jovial character who came to Kinshasa from the equatorial region to the northeast of the capital, brought his own style, which was based on the folklore of the Mongo people, known for their Zebola rhythm, but which also included a Latin American influence. He incorporated elements of rumba and beguine, having picked up tricks from several celebrated Latin bands which had visited Leopoldville, that is Kinshasa, in the early 1950s, such as Sam Kasande, Orchestra Aragon, and some Puerto Rican bands. Their music was so popular that even those who had their own unique style will be obliged to add some Latin color to modernize the music for the popular market. As the music developed, Bowane later recalled everyone was looking for a certain modernism. Bowane was also astute enough to see that the new music being forged in the Congo had commercial potential, and when he started to hustle for payment that reflected the sales of his records, he was briefly imprisoned. He turned this to his advantage, boasting about in one of his early hit songs, Kotia Solote, don't stick to your nose into our business. Bowane made his point, and while he was with Loningisa, he became the country's wealthiest performer and one of the first Congolese to cruise the capital in a Cadillac. Okatelinga Ilingala. I think that is Okatelinga Ilingala. That's like just like marriage. Otomboki na mama langa, you are not with my mother. Likolo ya karoti andako. Just talking about the carrots, anyway. Among other guitarists making an impression on the 15-year-old Francoa, Jimmy Zakaria Elenga, who played Hawaiian guitar style with plenty of vibrato, and Adu Elenga, who in 1953 had amplified his guitar using a microphone on a number called Okili Ekobaluka, The World is Going to Change, a utopian song looking forward to a post-colonial society, which caused him to be locked up by the Belgian authorities. For Franco, however, the diet of local guitarists was Balozi, also known as Tino Baroza, who used vibrato to create an honored guitar sound, and who developed into a virtuoso soloist alongside locally based European jazz musicians. Okoki na yote, you will not make it. I will play this Neka Okangama. I normally say I'll play this and then I forget. Nalukeli Nzoto Ngambo ya Pamba Pamba. This is the song by Lola Sheka in 1980. That's it. Nalukeli Nzoto Ngambo ya Pamba. I was just looking problem for myself for nothing. Koluka Nalukeli Nzoto. Nzoto is the body. So just saying that I was just looking problems for myself for nothing. Pasha Simbanga na Motema. Pasha, hold me. Nakomi Lokola Nabungisi Tonga. I'm like someone who has lost the sewing needle. Tonga is a needle. Nakomi Lokola Moto Abonkisi Tonga. Tonga is a sewing needle. You know, if you lose a sewing needle, it's not easy to get it. Nakoluka nyoso, I'm looking for it, but I'm not getting it. They're just saying because of love. Miidi nyoso natelemeka, natele, and the whole day I'm just standing. Kotelema is to stand, looking for that needle. No, waiting for that lady. Just saying that I'm looking for you, whether to see if you can pass Soki or Koleka. Bafuatire Koleka. I'm just looking at all the vehicles that are passing by to see if you are alighting. Yanga bolingo na moniete, but I'm not seeing my love. Nazongi natako na mai ya miso. So I'm going back to the house just crying. Mai are the tears, now miso are the eyes. So I've not saying that I've been at the stage waiting for the love, but it's not come. So just looking at all vehicles, but you could not see the love. So just going back to the house crying. Ikambote, no problem. Pasha, Calling a moto is a little passy. Loving someone is just a problem. Souvenir basamedito bimakanayo. The only memory I have with you is that Saturday we went with you out. Motemetikala photo. That is the only the memory that I have when we went with you. Just saying that's not said to chance boya and zoto. Yeah, this is my ringing tone. Thank you.